Now that we've visited Rochester's oldest and most established brewery, what do you think about visiting a smaller brewery that just opened its doors?
Sounds good to me.
Now let me ask you this. What has 3 heads and serves beer?
I don't know, what?
These guys.
This brewery, with an interesting origin story and an even more interesting name, opened its doors in 2016 with a special visit from a champion of the New York craft beer industry, Governor Cuomo.
This is the new economy. It's entrepreneurs who have courage, have vision.
People will come here from all over to sample our beers and hang out and have a great time.
And come they did. These savvy business owners were able to predict their brewery would draw tourism because they had actually been perfecting their craft and building their brand for more than 6 years. I talked with co-owner Jeff Dale to learn more about how Three Heads found its groove.
Tell me about Three Heads Brewing. That name is very interesting. There's got to be a story behind that.
Yes, totally. It sort of goes back to when we first started, we always would listen to music, have parties when we would do our home brews, and it was always a big battle on who would get control of the iPod. Todd and I are both fish heads, and Dan is a deadhead. And so when it became time for naming the brewery, it was just an obvious choice, the Three Heads.
Perfect. Well, you guys started in 2010, and you guys use contract brewers.
Yes.
For people who don't know what that is, could you explain?
Sure. Back in the day, Todd and I were both stay-at-home dads. Dan actually was a vice president of a real estate company. We didn't have the ability to just jump in with both feet, open up a production brewery. So we approached custom brew crafters and we said, hey, we have the recipes. If you brew them, we'll distribute them. As soon as we put our first beers out, they just started selling. And then it just got to a point where we could only supply 10 bars because they bought all the beer we were making. And that really sort of forced the hand where it was like, okay, it's time, we need to build our own place so that we can actually increase our capacity, keep up with the demand. It took off.
Well, I love that, and I also love Rochester. This is the first time I've been here. You got a lot of great, interesting neighborhoods. How did you pick this neighborhood?
We had been looking around at different locations. Some of them were in the outskirts of Rochester, but we really wanted to be in the city proper. We come in here to the neighborhood of the arts. All this great artistic things going on with music, with, just art, jewelry. And it just made sense because here we are making artistic beers. And it's nice because we feel like we've been able to be a part of this rebirth in this neighborhood.
Speaking of artistic, your label is beautifully done. You've got some great artwork. How did you come about finding all those things?
So, funny story. Todd and I are actually in a band. We were playing a festival and our acoustic guitarist goes, hey, my brother-in-law does art. He's gonna do a poster for us. He did one of the most eye-catching posters I've ever seen in my life. From that day forward, all we ever do is give him the name of the beer, and within like 2 to 3 weeks, he comes back and goes, here's the label. He really has a fun sort of 70s hippie vibe in his artwork. We actually just won a contest in USA Today for having the best beer label in the country. He knows who we are and what we're trying to go for. It's a match made in heaven.
I love it. And you mentioned that music is really important to you guys, but you also play in a band. How is your love of music reflected in this business?
We do music here Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Just like we have distinct beers, we want to have distinct music. The goal is to reach out and try and get not just the best in Rochester, but we try and get regional bands. We actually have a band later this week that's coming from Trinidad. But it just, to me, music and beer is just a perfect pairing.
Hello, Rochester. So happy to be here at Three Heads Brewing for the first time. I hear they have some beer. You might want to check that out. I know I have.
It's clear the combination of music and art is responsible for this brewery's funky vibe, and all Three Heads enjoys striking the right chord with their customers.
Three Heads Brewing is a place for fun and music and good beer.
We feel like live music is a great way to let people really come in and have a great time and leave thinking that that was their best night ever.
Music soothes the soul. Music brings people together, just like the beer.
But make no mistake, this brewery is guided by one overarching philosophy, beer first. And considering the high demand for their products across the region, Three Heads has its priorities straight.
It's a passion. We do feel and love beer with all our heart.
We want flavors to bounce out and hit you over the head and be like, wow, that's an amazing taste. Not just simple, there's nuances and flavors, just like works of art.
Okay, enough talking about these works of art. It was time to taste some of these storied brews.
This is a beautiful bar, and this is a beautiful flight of beer, and I would love to know what each one of these are.
We'll start right off with our Noda Pilsner. It is a beer named after the neighborhood of the arts where we are located. It's meant to be a nice, light, crisp Pilsner, just perfect for sitting on the patio on a summer day.
Well, it delivers on its promise. It has a wonderful bite, and it's very crisp. What about the second beer here?
This is our Little Juice Coupe. It is an India Pale Lager. India Pale Ales have a tendency to be a little hoppy, but what's nice is the lagers bring the hops to the forefront in a little different way, so it's not as maybe bitter as some IPAs.
Yeah, I can taste that right now. I'm gonna have to have a second sip if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind.
That's wonderful. Now, what do we have here?
This is our flagship beer. This is the Kind IPA. It's a nice West Coast style IPA. It's meant to be very citrusy. We do bitter, but it's not painful.
I can taste the citrus. It's wonderful. And finally, what's this fourth beer?
Well, we're going completely left field now. This is the Rochestafarian. It is a Scotch ale. It's going to be a little bit more malt forward, not hoppy like the other ones. It's just going to be a nice, clean.
Oh, I love that. It has such a deep taste to it. It's wonderful. Well, now that you let me taste your delicious beer, I would love to see how it's made.
From my personalized tasting to a guided tour, this three-headed brewery rolled out the red carpet for me. I guess it's all in a day's work for the hosts of a destination that's keeping New York's craft beer revolution alive and well.
I couldn't brew anywhere else. This is home to us. There's great beer being made here in New York, and that's on the climb, and we want to be a part of that. And now that you're seeing we have 10 to 20 breweries right in the city of Rochester, that it's really becoming a great place to do a little day trip and hit 3 or 4, you know, get your Uber and go to a couple places. But we have seen a lot of people coming in from out of town to visit Three Heads. If we can bring smiles on people's faces, then we know we're doing a good job.